Hello, I'm Ed and this is LeEdFollow, and today we're unpacking and setting up my new car ramps lifty things. After doing the short shifter the other day, if you haven't seen that video, go and check that out. I got fed up of crawling around under the car just at sort of normal jack stand height, and I splashed out a little bit. So follow me on a journey that I've been wanting to do for about 5 years since I saw these sort of start to appear. So first thing, we'll get them out of the truck. So to fill you in on what I bought the Kwik Lift set, 3.5 ton Kwik Lift set from Equipment for Garages. It's basically the same as the BenPack Quick Jacks, except a little bit cheaper, and apparently there's not much in it. And also the company are local to me-ish, and only took a day to show up, which was brilliant. So we'll get these unboxed now, and then we'll see what we got. So this is what we get in the box. First off, instructions, which I will actually have a quick look at. These are the lifting blocks that you fit in there. That's what your car will sit on. This is the main pump unit, the little uppy and downy buttons. This, I went for the 240 volt version, so just a normal plug. You can get it in 12 volt. So if you're doing a lot of stuff by a track or something similar, just plug it into a car battery. Couple of hydraulic hoses to connect the pump to the lifts. They supply the hydraulic oil, which is a big plus, and then the lift units themselves. These aren't light, so although it says they're portable, which they are, you're not going to just chuck them in the car and go to your mate's house to help them out. They're solid, and these are the 3.5 ton versions. It's 100 quid more to get that, and I have a truck and other largest vehicles that I could use on it, so that's what I did. Okay, so now I will have a quick read of the instructions and then work out the next step. Okay, so the first step is we have to attach these hoses to these ports here. It doesn't say to use any sort of sealant on the things, but I will use some PTFE paste, just a little bit. I've used that in the past on oil-based systems and it's worked fine. Whether it should, I don't know, but it's been okay for me. So I put that onto there, and then tighten these up with a 19. Just want them snug, don't want to over torque them, because I imagine these fittings will strip quite easily. And then the next stage is to put 4 litres of the hydraulic oil into here. So I'm going to get that done, and then we'll look at the next step. So that's all done, all connected, cleaned off a little bit. Tank is full of oil. We'll check the levels once we've operated the lift to make sure there's a little dipstick on there, so make sure that's okay. Next stage is we've got to turn the ramps upside down and then hook up the hoses. It's all happening quite quickly. Hook up the hoses, and then they talk about firing up the pump. So I'll turn these over now and connect them up, show you how that works, and I'll see you in a sec. Connecting the hoses from the pump to the ramps is nice and easy. Just pull off these protective covers and then they slot together. There's this collar here, just pull that back and it just clips in like so. Then you can put these together just to keep the dirt out. So next thing is fire the pump up and bleed them out. So everything's plugged in. This is the remote, so you've got up and down. So I haven't tested this, so fingers crossed it's going to work. So let's go up. Ooh. So that's at full height. Now we'll press down. It's going to be slow coming down because there's no weight of the car on it. So we'll press down and it looks like nothing's happening, but it's slowly going down. I'm going to fast forward this bit because it's a bit boring. But we'll do this a couple of times and then I'll show you the finished lift after it's been bled. So I am nearly done with the bleeding. I'm just letting them go down for the final time. And then the next stage is to flip them over. And then we can sort of properly test them out. So I think they're all properly bled now. And the next thing is to turn it over. As you can see, it has lots of sort of wheels on the bottom of it to help you move it around. And stop it from getting scratched underneath. So I'm gonna clear some space because I've got stuff everywhere. Clear some space, flip these over, pull them to the side, and then I'm going to bring the Z in, which a bit scared, but let's give it a go. Okay, so the Z is in. I have just slid the quick lifts under the seals and put the rubber blocks on there. For something like a Z, you're going to need a bit of extra height just to lift it up because of the side skirts and stuff. Another point about lifting it from the sill is a lot of people say you shouldn't lift a car from the sill, which you shouldn't really, but when you're lifting it from 4 points, that's not much stress on each point, so it'll be fine as long as you don't have an S13 and there's no seals left. But anyway, so now is the scary bit. So we've got to keep an eye on the car, make sure it lifts it evenly, because that's the last thing I want. So we press the up button, and also because it doesn't lift it square, I hope it's going to clear that shelf. So right, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to have a quick look round and make sure that all the pads are properly seated. Okay, so they were okay, so we go back to going up. So I'm gonna loads of room, that's cleared. So see how the rest of the car's doing. Okay, so that's full height. So the next thing we need to do is lock it in place. You can lock it in 2 heights. But to do it, to lock in, you've got to lift, where am I? Lift this cam up, and we'll go and do the same on the other side. So that's the cams lifted, and that means we just press the down button and it locks in. As you can see, there's these lines here. So we've got 2 heights, and that is solid. So we've got to check the car, give it a rock. That's pretty firm. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. So car's in the air. So let's go underneath and see how much height we have. So let's go under the car. As you can see, there is so much room for activities under here. It is it's going to be lovely. As you can see, you can get to everything nice and easily, and yeah, it saves so much time. Doing it in this garage, it is tight. I would like a bit more space, and I might actually use it outside, especially in the summer. And the good thing is you can disconnect the hoses and take the pump inside and just leave these outside. Whether I'd leave them out in all weathers for a while, I probably wouldn't, but just for short term, overnight, something like that, it will be fine. So when you want to lower the ramps, you've got to go up to start with. So press it up, and then we lift these arms up and knock that cam down, and make sure you do both sides, because if you don't do both sides, this will drop unevenly, and that's a bad thing. So both cams are lifted up, and now we can lower her down. Once again, watching the shelf, but it was fine going up, it'll be fine coming down. And that's it. She's down on the ground. Should be able to just pull the ramps out, like so. Nice and easy. And then just back the car out. So when the car is out the way, you can just get your ramps, unclip the hoses. A tiny bit of oil will come out, that's normal, it's to be expected. I'm a farmer, I deal with hydraulic stuff all day, that is absolutely fine. So when you're done with them, this end is actually a handle. You can just pick it up. There's some wheels on the bottom. You can just pick it up, and I'm just going to stack them in the corner. So I'm going to do that now. So there we are, all stacked in the corner. Equipment for garages do sell hooks that you can put on the wall for these, which I might do that. And I'm also tempted to put a shelf, probably up there, that the pump can live on full time, so it's not really in the way. It's mildly bulky and it might get annoying. So what do I think? I love them. I think they're going to come in really quite handy for future jobs. So I got a radium surge tank to put into the Z, so that's going to make that job a lot easier because I've got to get to the fuel tank underneath, and just general servicing anything is going to be a lot easier. It is a bit cramped still in here. Once it's in the air, it's fine, and you lose access to the side, but you've always got the option of just using that to get the car in the air, and then you can get axle stands underneath and just lower it out and just keep it on axle stands. It's just a lot easier and better for the car than jacking in all four corners. Yes, they're not cheap. You can get a 2-post ramp for used, definitely for cheaper than that. But a 2-post ramp, you need the concrete, you need the power supply, whereas this, as long as it's flat, level, hard surface, it will work on a normal 3-pin plug. So I wish I bought one years ago. Don't regret it. Go and buy one. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Do the liking, the subscribing. Any comments? If you think I've done something wrong or I could have bought something else, chuck a comment down. So anyway, we'll see you on the next one, which is probably going to be the fuel surge tank on the Z, if I can get motivation. But anyway, we'll see you later. Thanks very much. Bye.